Hello, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Reyes Originals. And for this very special episode of the series of Jurassic World Rebirth, this is the closer look on our Mutadon. And here's a closer look. Alright guys, so here is again Zora Bennett, and we have here our closer look on the Jurassic World Rebirth Mutadon, and this is the Lego custom of Extinct Reyes, of course, and this is actually one of the last few customs that I will be doing for Jurassic World Rebirth, but watch out for two more or three more customs that will be coming out after this custom. And for those of you who don't know what a mutadon is, here's the photo of that particular dinosaur or mutant, or what you want to say it. And yeah, so this is how my interpretation of a Lego mutadon is, and we're going to, look into this very closely and see the features that I have for this particular custom, of course. And Zara will be coming back later on for some size comparisons, but for now she'll just ride on this really cool looking what do you call this, a Jeep or whatsoever, from Lego. And I'll see her again later. Okay, so here's the Mutadon, guys, and looking at it very closely, I've managed to somehow recreate the overall shape of the head. The head of the Mutadon is not very close or not similar to that of a raptor, and so I have to somehow rebuild on the structure, make it more triangular in shape, and it had, of course, teeth sticking out of its mouth like so I had to put that in and somehow squeeze that picture in, because that is one of the more prominent pictures of the Mutadon. The Mutadon also would have this overlaying burlap on the lower side of the neck, and so we wanted to have that feature as well. It had this really thick neck to it, although since we're going to use a ball and socket joint here, I don't want it to be too thick that it would obscure on the articulation. Now, of course, this one can open and close its mouth. The articulation here on the base of the neck is a ball and socket joint, so it offers a lot of movement. It can look up until this and then look down up to this extent only. However, it had several other articulations, such as twisting of the head, making it look really menacing, or squinchery or something like that. And then going towards the body here, it had two studs here on the back, had some really cool details of spikes here running down its back as well. The arms here, like I mentioned in the tutorial video, is that it can actually open the shoulders up to this extent, so that you can change it into a flying position. And with that, of course, we have here our wings that you can actually take out like so, and then put it in a flying articulated pose like so, and so you can make your Mutadon fly. So similar to the other side, you can also do that. So just pick out the extend part of the what do you call that, the arm here, and then there it goes. So it looks like a wing for the Mutadon. It could have been much wider here at the base. However, if we do that, it would obscure the movement on the legs, so I'm not sure how we're going to do that just yet, but at least for now we have this type of articulation and also movement for the arms of the Mutadon. So it's a far improvement from what I envisioned from before. Yeah. Also, we have here our legs. The legs of the Mutadon are quite long, and slender. So I figured that maybe we can do that as well here on the body of this mutadon. And you can see here that aside from front moving front and back, it can also twist here at the knee area like so. And then also another feature would be that it also has articulation on the sickle claw, so you can actually put your sickle claw up. You can also put the sickle claw down like so. There you go. I hope you can see that. So down, let me just raise this up, down, and then up like so. See? Alright, so of course it would have some articulation as well, so you can twist it like so. And yeah, so that is the cool features of the mutadon. And yeah, so let's move on to the next portion of the video.
This is size comparison.
Moving on to size comparisons. And Zora Bennett is back here for some size comparison, and comparing this particular mutadon here with a actual size of the mutadon comparison here with a human being. You can see that it's just around, I guess, the correct size. It could be smaller or slightly bigger than the actual size of it, but comparing it with this one, I think we did quite good in terms of having this as a comparison size or scale to the mutadon. Alright, so let's now compare with other customs that we've had so far of Pteranodon, and of course a special guest that we have here. So let's just put this at the back portion so that you can see better. Alright, so first up would be the Mutadon by EB Toy Universe, and you can see here that the Mutadon here is a different type of Mutadon, although looking at it now, actually it looks better. It looks better than mine, but yeah, so Uncle Mike did some changes to this one that made it look much better than what it was before, and I just want to point out those things to you guys. So at first it didn't have a much larger neck to it, and looking at it now, I think it looks much way done better than the previous one that I did. Also, this one had an elevated back to it, so it curves more up, and even though the wings would not open or close, it does have a more engaging position compared to my current Mutadon. But anyway, so that said, no, both of these Mutadons look great. They also have the same size. So if you haven't watched yet the Mutadon on EB Toy Universe, please check it out. It's quite a good custom, and if you are after the structure, it would be an easier build compared to what we have here. So if you want to try for yourself to create your own Mutadon, please check out this how the Mutadon from EB Toy Universe was created. Okay, so let's now compare with some other flying reptiles of Jurassic World. First up, we have the Dimorphodon, and the Dimorphodon here is something that I recreated out of Chaos Theory, I think, or Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. I'm not so sure, but you can check out and search for this one. I think this has over several revisions already. This is my final one, and I think what I did here was quite, I would say that this would be really my final version of the Dimorphodon. If I had a chance to make more of this, then definitely I'd make more. Alright, so that is the Dimorphodon, guys. Here is how it compares in terms of size with the Mutadon. Of course, much smaller. Alright, so now we also have here the Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodon, and this is actually one of my earliest customs of a Pteranodon, and this is how this is one of those times that I thought to myself that why limit myself to just a Pteranodon with opening of the mouth, and then of course flattening of the wings, and then that's it. Everything else is static. So this is the first one. If you'd see one of my first videos, you'd see that this is the first ever pterosaur that I made that would have additional articulation. So yeah, so this is the Pteranodon from Jurassic Park 3. Check it out, guys. Definitely the wingspan of this one would be, it already has some loose articulation, but that's fine. This one compared to the Mutadon would have much wider wings, and of course much I would say would have a more skin flap on the wings compared to the Mutadon. However, I think the Mutadon wingspan here would be much greater, or much wider in length. So yeah, so here it is in terms of comparison to the Mutadon. Another one that I did way before as well would be the Geosternbergia, and this is of course part of the Jurassic Park The Lost World collection that I have. It's also one of my earliest work, and you can see here the struggle that I have in terms of how I'm going to bend out the, what do you call this, the beak, and of course how I am going to paint yellows on this one. So it was quite a struggle, but nonetheless in my opinion it looked great, and this is something that you might also want to do yourself, and check out the channel as well. Alright, so another one would be another Pteranodon would be this one, and this is the Jurassic World Pteranodon. It's also part of the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Pteranodon that I have. It would have the same wingspan, etc. So comparing it with the Mutadon, it would just have comparable sizes. Alright, so next one would be the Ankylorhabdon. So the Ankylorhabdon is definitely much larger than our Mutadon, and this is also a hybrid. So if this is a hybrid, then definitely this is a hybrid, and I believe this is a hybrid of the Pteranodon and the Ankylosaurus. As you can see here, there are several armor plating in the back, as well as some noticeable spikes on the back as well. So that is the Ankylorhabdon of Chaos Effect. I'm looking forward to completing my Chaos Effect line. There's just a few more, but until then, so far this would be one of those Chaos Effect lines that I have. And lastly, in comparison, would be of course the Quetzalcoatlus of Jurassic World Rebirth, and here it is, guys. So definitely much llarger than that of the Mutadon. What do you think, guys? Would there be a battle between the Mutadon and the Quetzalcoatlus? Which one would win? I would say the Quetzalcoatlus, because in the movie, and this is just a few spoilers for you guys, if you haven't watched the film, then mute down the sounds. So I guess the advantage of the Quetzalcoatlus is that it actually did, or it actually had a kill, while the Mutadon wouldn't have any human kills in the movie. Even though there are two and the Quetzalcoatlus was just one, the Quetzalcoatlus was able to devour one of the mercenaries there in the movie. So I think the Quetzalcoatlus would have an advantage against the Mutadon. It wouldn't have it anyway, because it's much larger in my opinion. Okay, so that's it for the size comparisons. Let's now move on with And this is Extinct Rick Species Roll Call, and we have here all of the, well, I would say pterosaurs, part pterosaurs that I've been showing here so far on this particular video. And if you do have other suggestions of other species that you'd like to see here on Extinct Ricks, then please comment them down below. Also, Zora Bennett here would like to remind you guys that all that you see here is actually available in our Extinct Ricks playlist, but I'll also be placing individual links of all that you see here so that you won't have to go through lots of videos that I've already uploaded here on the channel. Alright, so without further ado, let's now do our Extinct Rick Species Roll Call. So let's start from this side. So this is our collection of pteranodons from Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. This is the Jurassic Park 3. This is Jurassic Park 2. This is the Jurassic World Pteranodon. And over here on the other side would be the Ankylorandon from Chaos Effect. We have here our Jurassic World Rebirth Level 40 concept custom of EB Toy Universe. We also have here Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Dimorphodon, as well as the Jurassic World Rebirth Quetzalcoatlus over there. And of course, the star of the show here, this is our Jurassic World Rebirth Lego Custom Mutadon. Oopsie. And if you enjoyed watching this particular video, please don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and consider subscribing to the channel. It helps the channel grow. And if you happen to support this channel, please do look at our videos as well and support our other channels. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next. Bye for now. Also, please support our other channels, EB Toy Universe, The Adventures of Myra and Usher, and Tito Mike's Kitchen. Please watch their videos and support our channel by subscribing, guys. And as we always would say, let your inner dino break roar! Thanks everyone, and bye!